You guys know what time it is, baby. It's tier list time. Season 6 Marvel Rivals. I've been playing a little bit more recently, and you guys know why I took a break for a while. It feels like the gameplay loop still does feel the same. It's, build a support ult in 40 seconds, and then slugfest, right? Mosh pit. But I will say, with Deadpool's release, the game has been pretty fun, and they actually have added a couple new things to the game to answer, the endless sustain with some Luna nerfs, Jeff ult being as good as it is to kind of grab people out of ults. There are a bit more answers, but let's go ahead and let's get to what everybody wants. Let's get to the tier list part of this. Okay, Adam Warlock, man. I've honestly barely seen any Adam this season at all. I think there's just way better picks in the game that could be consistent. As well as the fact, I think Jeff is pretty good, and Jeff ult is really good for Adam res. So his ults, he's weaker in the neutral, in my opinion, and I think his ult is harder to get value on, and especially in ranked. There aren't very many good Adams in ranked. You can pick him if you're good at him, but it's definitely going to be an uphill battle to play this character compared to some of the other supports in the game. So I'm going to give Adam C tier. Cloak and Dagger, man. I'm giving Cloak an A tier. I think in ranked, Cloak is just a really good go-to support, especially in the lower ranks, right? Where, the ult is really good, unless they have mag, but there's a lot of value you can get from the ult. The bubble heals really fast. You got the anti-dive mechanics. I feel like for how fast the ult builds and how consistent this character can be, I feel like if I ranked Cloak less than A tier, I'd be trolling. I definitely wouldn't say that Cloak is S tier, though. I'm going to give Cloak an A-. I think Cloak's a solid pick. You can pick him in most situations. Cloak and Dagger, yeah, whatever. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. Okay, now for Deadpool, you got to go piece by piece. So let's start out with the obvious. I think support pool is S tier. I think DPS pool is, terrible, D tier. And tank pool is solid. So I'm going to put Deadpool in A overall. But support pool, I would say, is S. Tank pool is A. And DPS pool just isn't that good. Again, being able to build that support ult super fast with the light tech is impressive. So, yeah, man, I'm going to give Deadpool the good old A tier. But S tier in terms of comedic value, they really nailed Deadpool's personality. And I've got to say, man, compared to, I know it's a Rivals thing, and, you don't want to compare Overwatch and Rivals. I'm not trying to take a knock at Overwatch, but, Rivals as a game just feels so alive, man. It feels so alive when you play it. They've really got the verse bumping, and I hope that Overwatch can match what Rivals has been able to do with their story and making the characters feel alive in their verse. They've really nailed Marvel. I think this is one of the few games that have actually nailed Marvel to its potential. What I love about it so much, there are certain characters and things that you can't do well with in live action. This is why, I think the DC animated universe, for those of you who have not seen it, is so fantastic. Batman, Bad Blood, movies like that just aren't as good in live action. Shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think there's certain things that you can only get away with in a digital world, in a non-live action world. And this is the first Marvel game outside of the Spider-Man games from Insomniac that have really done that. But to this degree, it's just awesome. It's just so cool to see. And Deadpool is another shining example of how well they've done that. Gambit is S tier, man. Gambit is insane. Gambit is absolutely busted, dude. It's so funny, and this is what I told people. I started playing Gambit. I had to fill in J3's tournament for one of my buddy's teams, just playing support. I'd never played Gambit before, but you can just pick it up immediately because the gameplay loop on all these supports is the same. Just sit there and build your ult. It's so strong. You can, even if you don't know how to play the character, if you sit there and build your ult and your support ult is strong, your character is going to be insanely good. Whether you know how to cleanse or anti or any of that, it doesn't even matter, right? Gambit's another one of those examples. I think he's a must ban. If you don't ban Gambit, you kind of just lose if they have one. His ult is insane. His neutral is insane. His healing is insane. His cleanse and anti and all the stuff he does is insane. I think if you're a strategist player, learning how to play Gambit is an absolute must right now. Yeah, this guy is absolutely nuts. Gambit is going to be S tier. And Sue Storm as well. Oh, Lord. May you bless Jessica Alba the rest of her life. I mean, holy crap. I had such a massive crush on Jessica Alba when I was younger because of her role playing Sue Storm. And man, Mrs. Fantastic is insane still. Her ult is so good. Her boops are so good. Her shield is so good. They really buffed her a ton over time. And yeah, Sue is strong, man. There's no secret here. Sue is so strong. So yeah, I mean, I'm hosting a Susan Storm lookalike contest. The winner gets to be my wife. We'll leave it at that. Shout out Sue Storm. She is insane this season. And a hot take. I think Jeff is S tier, dude. I think Jeff is so good. Here's why I think Jeff is good. One, God, he's such a troll. He's such a troll. His emotes are hilarious. He just has aura. And honestly, like, his ult is so good against certain support ults that, look, I know Mag ult, Jean ult, all of that stuff can really counter the Jeff. So I probably should put Jeff in A tier. Yeah. He's A tier, but he's a high A. He's a high A. I think Jeff, again, he's got great healing. His ult, like, into Cloak and Dagger ult, into Mantis ult. There's a lot of different things. Sorry, I was in Discord with the boys. A lot of different things, like, this character can just counter, right? And a lot of the ults that, like, just insta-kill him aren't as strong, especially with the buff that his ult got to actually have a healing circle. He became so much better. I think Jeff is secretly really, really strong. You can play him in a lot of different situations. So don't sleep on the Jeff. Definitely not S tier, but a solid A. Loki, I think, is S tier, man. I mean, Jesus, this guy, Loki has been the king of strategists since this game came out. He is so, like, everyone looked to Luna, but this was kind of my point. I was like, listen, Luna's strong right now, and you do need to nerf Luna. But Loki will always be as good as the best support in the game because of how his kit works. And his neutral abilities are so strong. Like, it's almost impossible for this guy to not be an S tier support unless they giga nerf his neutral, which they did a couple of seasons ago. If his neutral is just decent, his ult fight will always be top tier because he's just going to copy whatever is the top tier ultimate. So it's really hard for Loki to not be one of the strongest strategists in the entire game. So I don't think this is going to surprise anybody. Loki is just going to be insane. I'm going to give him an S tier rating. Luna. I think Luna is B tier, actually, man. It's hard to heal as much as the other strategists as Luna, especially since her ult got nerfed. It's much harder for her to get value. I saw her win rate tank quite a bit. I don't think she's bad. I just don't think she's as good as the other strategists in the game. And this game is run by strategists, man. Whether people want to admit it or not, the strategists run Marvel Rivals. Strategists have ran Marvel Rivals since the alpha. Like, strategists dominate this game. They always have. They always will. Until like ults get globally nerfed, I don't see a world where the strategists don't dominate this game. And it's hard I'm not saying she's unplayable. She's pickable. But it's just harder to get value on this character than it is on Sue, Gambit, Loki, Cloak, Deadpool, Jeff, all of this crap. So I'm going to give her a B tier. And hot take, I'm putting Mantis in A tier. I don't think Mantis is an S tier support. I think she is S tier in triple strategists. However, I do think she's actually really good. There's a lot of poke comps that are strong, and the damage boost that she has is very, very good. Her healing got some buffs over the seasons, and her ult is still pretty solid. You got to be careful of things like Jeff and other things like that. But, I found picking Mantis in ranked can actually be pretty dang strong. So I think that Mantis is at least an A-. Definitely above Luna, in my opinion, especially with those triple strategist comps. She can be very, very powerful. So I'm going to give Mantis an A- today. I definitely think that she's a very good, strong character. Rocket's Raccoon, man. Dude, I'm going to put this character in S tier. Honest to God, I am. I've never seen a character take so little effort to get value. And I know Jean is good. Realistically, compared to other character strengths, I'm going to put him in A tier. But I think because of how easy he is, or how rewarding he is, and how little effort it takes, I'm just putting this character in S tier because I think he's the most broken support in the game. And what I mean by that is, how much value do you get for how much you put in? And I have never seen a character get as much value as Rocket Raccoon for the absolute most bare minimum effort of a video game character I've ever seen. Like, the Res Beacon, everything he has is just so good. His ult, I think, is also really good. If you ban Jean in your games as Rocket, he immediately jumps to an S tier pick. So I'm going to say Rocket is S tier he's A tier with Jean in the game. He's S tier with out Jean in the game. So that makes him really, really strong. So yeah, I'm gonna put Rocket in S tier. Ultron, I think, is trash. I think Ultron is so bad this season. I think he's C tier, man. I just don't see him getting any value. He's not great in triple support comps right now compared to like a Mantis. Like any time where like he might be run, I just think there's way better options on the map to pick other than Ultron. I think he had his time in the sun, but Tony Stark clipped those wings. So yeah, I'm going to give Ultron C tier. Now, Black Panther, dude. I am going to give Panther C tier as well. I've barely seen any Black Panther this season. This guy is very easy to counter by going Thing. Shout out Samju. I love those TikToks, bro. They geek me. Triple Strategist, the Thing. Panther's just kind of checked. I think this guy needs a rework more than any other character in the game. He's so feast or famine. I think he could be more of a cleave, anti-heal type of character, and that would make him really strong in the game against triple strategist comps. That would be much better, in my opinion. Lose some lethality, gain some uptime, as well as heal mitigation, and Vibranium is just heal mit instead. It would be very, very cool, in my opinion. I think he needs it. Black Widow. About a Zaza, those games, baby. Listen. No hate to Zaza. I think actually in that situation, you know, I think everyone put her in a horrible situation. She was trolling on Black Widow, and she absolutely should have just gone to more and gotten literally double the kills from sitting there doing nothing by soaking a dive. But I thought she got more of the hate in that situation than other people should have. She just should have swapped it. It's fine. I think Widow's trash. I think she's secretly really good with Mantis in some situations. Well, I shouldn't take this back. I think Widow is trash for 99.9% of players. And if your team is good at diving, don't buff this character, by the way. It's good that she's trash. She should be trash. One-shots, hit-scan snipers, and hero shooters really just ruin the game. But just for the memes and for the vibes, I'm going to put Black Widow in F tier. Blade. I don't know, man. Like, I think I can't rank him lower than B tier because he does have an ult combo that can kill through support ults. And just like again, if your character can kill through ults in this game, your character will always be B tier or higher. Period, point blank. That's just how it is. Ults are so important in Marvel, right? They're by far, like, I would say 85% of this game is ultimates, and 15% of this game is not ultimates. If you don't have a good ult, your character will not be good. No conversation. No conversation at all. So the fact that his ult is heal mit and can combo makes him at least B tier in my mind. I'm not sure how his neutral is. I haven't really sat down and learned Blade. You'll have to go watch Avenue or somebody like that to figure that out. But I'm gonna give him a B tier solely for that fact. He's got aura as well. Daredevil, man. I still think Daredevil. I still think that Daredevil's S tier. I think he's one of the best flankers. I don't play him much, but you know. Oh wait, there's another. Oh wait. Oh my goodness. Wait, the Deadpools are organized, and I'm stupid. Oops. Okay, my bad. I'm gonna go ahead and just rank these how they should have been. Apologies, because I went and said all three of them at once. My bad, guys. My bad. What was I supposed to do there? Was it support pool? I don't know what it was. Who was I talking about? Daredevil. Yeah, he's really strong. I think he's good. Not much to say. He's got a good ult, good kit, viable character. Really did Daredevil well from in a game. That's awesome. I love that. Hawkeye, dude. Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye is A tier at least. Again, a lot of cloak and daggers out there. Being able to one-shot her out. His ult is really, really strong into a lot of different things in a lot of situations. I think he's a solid pick. I'm gonna give Hawkeye a solid A tier rating. I think he's pretty dang good right now. So yeah, Hawkeye is gonna be A tier. Hela. No surprise, dude. This character is almost always going to be S tier. She does so much damage. Really strong ult. 2-tap. Just insane, man. Insane burst damage. One of the few DPS in the game that can actually kill through supports with a double dink. Just because of that and her damage alone, she's almost always going to be S tier. She's one of the best duelists in the entire game. Now, Torch, I think, is also kind of meh. Bad. Very mid. I haven't seen much of him. I think he needs certain types of comps to be viable for him to be good, and I just don't think what's strong in the game right now really rewards Torch that much. There was a time where he was good, and the game was not very fun. So I think he's fallen off a bit, though you'd have to go ask a Torch player what his real value is. I'm a bit unsure on this one. I just haven't seen him, and if I don't see the guy at all, it's probably because he's bad. Iron Fist, man. I'm going to be real, guys. I think Iron Fist is just an absolute doo-doo pick. And look, I know they're buffing him. I know this, okay? But I played Season 0 Fist, okay? And I'm always going to rank this character bad because they took one of the coolest design characters in any game I've ever played and absolutely, completely ruined the fun of him by making his damage enemy max HP damage. You have a Duelist that lost so much damage against 80% of his raw. Like, he's a Duelist that can't duel other Duelists in the game. They ruined him. He was so cool in Season 0 because you had enough damage, not an insane amount of damage, but you had enough to have a reasonable choice in your gameplay loop to go after squishies or go after tanks. And now, pretty much all he is brawl against the tanks so you'll never kill because they're getting hard-pocketed. To farm your ult second after all the support ults go through, and then ult second with an ult that can't kill through support ults 90% of the time. They just made him so lame. Pillow Fist. It's so sad what they did to this character. And I said it in Season 0. Go find the VODs. I was like rank 70, 80, like playing mainly Iron Fist when the game came out. And I said, if they nerf his damage at all against squishies, it will ruin this character's identity. They made him enemy max HP. It reduced his damage against squishies by 20% and made it stronger against tanks. Took all the depth and decision-making out of his gameplay loop and ruined what was honestly the coolest melee character I'd played since DPS Doomfist. What they did to Iron Fist is still a tragedy, and I don't care how strong he is in the meta. His gameplay loop is insanely boring, and they took all the fun out of it. He's horrible against triple support. And they need to revert him to his Season 0 damage values. No enemy max HP, back to what it originally was. He just had super long cooldowns that weren't efficient. A 15-second cooldown on a melee character is horrible. And he still had a 53% win rate in Celestial and above. So, a real shame what they did to Iron Fist. And, you know, some other creators might rank him higher on their list. But, man, in terms of fun, they took all the fun out of playing this character. Respect to all you Fist mates who still Fist on. You know, I feel for you guys. We had a really cool character in Season 0. And, you know, Zeong decided to destroy him. So, what a shame. Iron Man, I think, is trash, dude. I don't know. I want him to be good because I love Iron Man. But I just haven't seen much Iron Man get played. I think he's outpaced by the meta right now. Like, Gambit ult coming in fast. Like, Su ult and Mag just checking his ult. If his ult was a bit more consistent, I think he'd be a lot better. But nothing dies in poke in this game unless it's Hela, right? Or Jean. So, like, he doesn't do enough damage to kill through the healing in his neutral. If he did and healing got slowed down, he would be very strong. But he's just not, so I'm going to give him a C tier. Actually, I'm going to give him a D tier. I've just never seen him. Magic hot take. I think Magic is sleeper good. She's, like, the reason why is when she ults, especially when Su is good, you can kill the Su through her ult, but it confines the players in an area where her ult and her little gremlins can get enormous amounts of value. I think Magic is much worse when things like Luna, well, I guess she has a combo against Luna, but just particularly when all of the supports are clumped up in an ult where she can cleave through and maybe make something happen if you get lucky, I think makes her really good. I think she's sleeper good. I see quite a bit of Magic in ranked. I think she's an A tier. Fantastic. I don't know, dude. I don't know where to put Fantastic. I played a bit of him, and honestly, he felt like he was kind of sleeper good. But I barely see him at all, so I'm gonna give him a C. I mean, his ult just sucks, really. His ult just sucks. You can't do anything versus the support ults. And again, you guys know how this tier list goes. 85% of this game is ults. If your ult is not able to kill through ults, then it's probably bad. Moon Knight, though. I think Moon Knight is secretly A tier. I think if it's a heavy poke comp with Hela, he's much worse. But if it's not a heavy poke comp with Hela, it's like a clump up comp with Groot. That combo is really good right now. Triple Strategist, I think his combo is really, really good because you can kill through Strategist ults. I think Moon Knight is like a sleeper A-, okay? I think I'm going to give Moon Knight an A- just because he combos well with some of the other characters in the game. Now, this is going to surprise people. I think Namor is S tier, okay? Here's why. I think the community has been hard gaslit into thinking that, oh, naked Namor, you don't get an extra squid. He's bad. Like, people thought that extra squid gave him enormous value, and it did to some degree. But, dude, you get your squids back faster by 1 second every time you hit a shot, okay? You can build your squids really fast, really, really fast. And his ult can kill through support ults. It combos with Groot. He's great against dive. I think Namor has been one of the like sleeper strong DPS in every meta. But you get up to Celestial and everyone's like, oh, or like a Celestial turning that rank. They're like, oh, naked Namor, you must be trolling. I'm like, bro, like, please get back on TikTok. Like, what are you talking about? This guy, he churns out damage. He churns out damage. He churns out squids. He's got a good ult that can combo. He's a solid duelist. Like, was he Gene? He wasn't Gene, but nobody was Gene. We'll get to Gene next. But I think he was right underneath her, and he definitely is now. So Namor is S tier in my opinion. Jean is just absolutely S tier, man. She is the best DPS in the game. She's been the best DPS in the game. She still is the best DPS in the game. She does everything. Insane damage, insane cleave damage, insane ult that can kill through support ults, break deployables. She is the best DPS in the game. No contest. Has been since she came out. Absolutely nasty character. Psylocke. I think Psy is like B plus A minus right now. Like, Loki keeps her in check big time, so if Loki falls out, she'll immediately skyrocket up. I don't know, man. I haven't seen much. Like, I have a tough time ranking Psylocke low because I think that character has so much potential. I think she's like A minus, B plus around there. Definitely pickable, but like kind of an uphill battle in some situations, so I don't know, man. She's kind of competing with DD and like some of the other damage dealers for her spot, with good poke being strong. I actually am going to put her in B tier. I don't think she's bad. I think the game just doesn't favor her style of play right now. Scarlet Witch. Another example of a character being trash based on their ult, right? You know, she's just not very good. She has bad neutral. Her ult is very bad as well. She doesn't bring anything to the table. She's just bad. Oh, but I like it when things are OP in my superhero games. Okay, then why is the worst Marvel character in the game the strongest Marvel character in the Marvelverse? This is my point when people try to say, well, everything's OP. We shouldn't nerf ultimates in this game. Guys, just because it's a superhero game doesn't mean that everyone in game is super. Iron Fist is Pillow Fist. Scarlet Witch could absolutely decimate the MCU. Didn't she single-handedly kill every mutant? And she's trash in the game, okay? Game balance matters, okay? And even in the Marvel comics, there's power scaling, you know? It always frustrated me to hear that. It was absolutely ridiculous if people said that. But Witch is just trash. There's nothing else to say. She's trash. Spidey. I had a Spidey called Lil Weezy in my game today. I think Spidey is B tier. He's okay. I think he can get countered, but you can definitely get value on him. He's definitely not one of the bottom tier DPS in the game. Look, I know he's bad in Triple Strategist, but in ranked, people don't play Triple Strategist well. You can kind of pick people off pretty consistently. I think he's okay. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's great either. So yeah, Squirrel Girl, kind of the same thing. They nerfed her and she kind of became trash. I'll say it. I like Squirrel Girl. I think she was a sleeper pick and then they nerfed her because people just won on her. Her ult isn't super consistent, but it's all right. Her acorns are all right. She's good in the group, but like you're not killing through anything consistently, man. I think she's a little silly pick. Give her a C plus, B minus, but I don't really see much of her at all. Star-Lord. I think Star-Lord is A tier. I think if Gambit is open, Star-Lord becomes much better because his ult with Gambit ult is insane. He's solid. I don't think he's the best DPS in the game, but I think he's a notch below the Jeans, the Hellas, the Namors, just under a Hawkeye, but like a very good pick, like a solid 95. Not quite S plus tier, extra credit 105 Gene, but a solid 95, just a notch below where I think he's pretty dang good. Storm, I think, is bad. I think a lot of these flyers suck right now. I think Poke is much better with Triple Strategist, and I think Storm is good into the GOAT's S comps, but then they just swap DPS and you're just not as efficient as everybody else. So, Jeff Nato's all right, but she's just not seeing a lot of play. I'm not seeing a lot of Storm. I don't think she's great right now. So I'm going to give her a C tier, but you can get value on her. I do think she's a solid character. I think the game doesn't favor her right now in a lot of ways. Punisher. I think Punisher's like A tier in ranked. Like, you can't go wrong with the Punisher, especially if there's a group, but Mag really checks him pretty well. So I'm going to give Punisher an A minus, solid like 90, 92. A notch or two below some of the other hard damage dealers in the game, but he can be a good pick in a lot of situations, especially if Mag is off the map. Bucky, I think, is S tier. Don't tell Zaza. But, he great against dive, A lot of survivability, great ult, great damage. He's just a solid pick all around. So I think Bucky's a solid S tier. Not a whole lot of debate there. He just has great sustain, great range damage, and can really check a lot of the divers in the game and survive on his own. Wolf. I think Wolf is A tier. I don't think Wolf is quite S tier because, again, it depends on what tanks they're running and if they're on, a comp where he can get value. He's very dependent on that. But he is good. I'm going to give Wolf a solid A, right in the middle of the pack, a good DPS. Now, Angela, dude. I think Angela is crazy. I think Angela's S tier, man. Great ult. She can check angles really well. She's like the diva of this game, but with CC. She doesn't soak up a lot of damage. Well, she can with her shield, but the way she can occupy angles and good Angelas can roll out, I think she's actually very good. I think she's a very strong character. So I'm going to give her an S tier. Captain America, I think, is B tier. I think he's really mid. Again, his ult is like another support ult. Yeah, but people are playing triple support anyway. That role usually gets filled by a damage dealer or a third support. I think he's pretty mid. I just, I don't see Cap as being super exceptional. So, yeah, I'm going to give him a solid B tier. Doctor Strange. Ooh. I'm going to give Strange B tier as well. I do see a bit of Strange here and there. I think he's just gapped by Mag as he has been since launch. He's close to being good, but he's got so many checks like Wolverine in the game and like poke damage just ripping through his shield. I think he's just like a solid B. Solid B. You can play him, but a solid B. Hot take as well. I think Emma's really overrated this season. I think people have Emma as like a ban. You don't need to ban Emma. I think Emma's like an A-. I don't think she's that great. I don't think she's bad. I don't think she's exceptional either. She's definitely not S tier in my opinion. I think she's a solid character though. I'm going to put her in A tier, but I think she's a Kappa ban. I think Havoc, when my team, I was filling for this team, was right. I think she's a Kappa protector ban. You don't need to protect her banner at all. Now, Groot, on the other hand, is S tier. Groot is insane, bro. He is insane. Big ult combo to kill through triple strategists. Great walls, can do so much. He's a great character right now. I think Groot is like a low S tier. Not like the top hero in the game. But man, is Buddy right there. Groot is very, very good right now. And hot take. I think Hulk is sleeper good in a triple strategist, bro. I don't know. There's like 2 or 3 good Hulk players is the problem. They're really good at not taking damage. I barely see them though. I don't know. I think in a team environment, Hulk is S or A. In ranked, he's B. So I'm gonna give him an A-. Again, there aren't many people who play Hulk, but those who do can get a lot of value on him. Just careful in the ult fights. It's hard to get value in the ult fights. So I think Hulk is silently good. Magneto, bro, S tier, dude. This guy has been busted since launch. His ult kills through support ults. He's got great poke damage and mitigation. He's the Sigma of this game. No need to explain it. Same reason he's been good since the alpha. Insane. Penny, I think, fell off. I think Penny's B tier at best. Good in some situations, but like hard to force. I think if you're an excellent Penny player, you definitely can get value. But I think she's definitely, I think even the really good Penny players would agree she's not as good as she was. So yeah. Rogue, dude, I think Rogue is so good. Oh my God. I've seen a lot of Rogues get a ton of value, dude. I think that she is so good. I think that she is amazing. Rogue is sleeper busted. I love the character. She brawls really well. I'm a big fan of Rogue. Thing, I think, is like, I'm actually going to swap Thing and Hulk here. I think that Thing is like a low A tier. He's great in the situations where he needs to be good, but outside of that, he doesn't do a whole lot. He just takes a lot of poke damage. So when you need him to brawl, he's great. When you don't need him, don't pick him. So S tier in the right situation against shit like Panther, all that stuff, but like B, C tier when it's against full poke. You can't play him into he's B tier. What am I talking about? He's B tier as well. No, not C, B tier. Okay. Thor. I think Thor is kind of sleeper as well. I don't know where to rank Thor. I never see Thor. I'm going to put Thor in B tier. I think you have to be a good Thor to get value on this character. And if you are, you can play him in a lot of situations. But if they're on full poke and like a good poke comp against you, it's so hard for you to get value. So you do have to swap. I'm going to put Thor in B tier. And Venom, I actually think Venom is like an A- right now. I think Venom can get a lot of value. You have to be careful with poke, but there's a lot of times against triple strategist comps specifically where you can dive the back lines and get good anti-heals and setups as Venom. So I think that that Venom is an A tier. All right, guys, that's going to conclude my tier list. Where was I wrong? Where was I right? What do you guys think about Rivals Season 6? Y'all let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Hit that sub button if you're new. Leave some comments down below for series suggestions you guys want to see me do on Rivals as well. Take care, boys. Much love. Peace out.